Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lam Tran, and I'm actually the founder and CEO of the company WisePass. I'd like to welcome you for this online event. This is the first time that we do such kind of thing. And the reason why we did this is because during this COVID-19 situation, many things have changed. And what we wanted to do is just to see how we can connect with other founders and discuss, share some insights in various verticals, industries as well. So what I did was just to take a look at my network and ask many founders in Vietnam and also around the world to see if they would be willing just to share what was going on with them, if they could share what they were doing, and discuss furthermore about how they're handling the situation during this very troubled time. Today we will be discussing with CK, and CK is actually the founder and CEO of Innaway. So I'd like just to ask Mr. CK if he can show up on the camera, please.
Hey.
Hey, how are you doing?
Doing okay. How's it going?
Doing. So thanks for joining the this first online event that we organize. And today we're just gonna go through this very simple flow where we're just gonna talk to each other about what Innaway is, what you guys doing, what kind of problem you're solving, how much you charge with your product, and along the way I'll ask a few questions and follow-up questions. So without further ado, let me start, and maybe we can start with the first slide, and if you can just introduce a little bit of Innaway. So here you go.
Anyway, my name is CK. I'm the founder of Innaway. What we try to do is to provide a remarketing and distribution technology for HoReCa, right? Hotel, restaurant, and cafe to retarget the customer and make sure those customers come back and use your service again as a loyalty customer. And we do that by the use of messaging, which is Facebook Messenger, Line, WhatsApp.
Great. So on my end, when I discussed with you, I summed that out in a way, it's like a travel tech company, and then you focus on driving those repeat sales for the HoReCa. Well, in this case, I said hotels. I guess in the future, you may manage just to do more than hotels. Is that correct?
Yes, so we decided to start with hotel because the problem tend to be bigger with the hotel rather than restaurant and cafe. The reason being hotel technology is more mature, right? The current solution and technology they use, let's say the online travel agency has been around for 20 years. Whereas for restaurant and cafe, the technology are a little bit newer, right? Like 10-year-ish.
Okay. In terms of chatbot, can you share with us more which kind of platforms you're already working with? I guess Messenger is one of them, but do you have any others?
Right. So we started with Facebook Messenger. The reason being is definitely the #1 messaging platform in the world right now, and the technology is a lot more mature compared to WhatsApp or the others, right? So we started with Facebook Messenger. We integrated Line to help our client target customer in Taiwan, Thailand, and Japan recently, and then the next one gonna be WhatsApp.
Got it. And then when I understand, the way you use your chatbot is they're gonna get the information from the hotels, and then the hotels will provide the database so you can apply your technology to reach those customers. Is that correct?
So in a way, it's correct. To be more precise, we provide a web application where the hotel, for example, hotel user call is an extranet, right? So it's a very common term on the company out there like Agoda or Book.com provide an extranet for the hotel to upload their content, their pricing, their inventory, right? And we have the same thing. So once it's all the data is in there field is will show up on your chatbot in real time. So the chatbot on Facebook Messenger and Line, we pull out those data. Let's say, if you want to look for a room in a specific day, that room showing up is real time. The price is real time. The availability or inventory is real time.
Okay, so they actually set like a sort of an allotment on your platform, and then the
Right.
chatbot provide the availability, and then if it's possible, the pricing, the dates, and I guess the price as well.
Right.
Is the pricing better when they those hotels are using you, or are they actually aligned with other OTAs?
Right. So the prices depend on the hotel, right? We advise them to provide better price for customer who return the second time, right? So there's certain loyalty deal up there, and often it's about 5 to 15% lower than you go and book with another platform online, because this is a direct channel, right? The customer will not see us as a third party, but they see we only provide the technology for the hotel. The one the customer interact with is the hotel themselves.
Okay, so if I understand well, like you're going to be merely like the tool, and the hotel will be the main point of contact with the customers.
Right.
Okay, cool. So I have another question. Like, so why did you guys focus on that market specifically, those hotels and all that? Is that because like you have like a special expertise about the hotels? Is that because like you are passionate about travel? What motivated you just to get there and jump in this really big market?
There's a few reasons, right? First of all, this is my lifetime work, right? I started with hotel back in the day, right? My first professional job was to work with a hotel in Four Seasons Hotel, right? So that's what I'm passionate about. I have experience in it. I have about 13 years experience in travel. The second reason is about the problem, right? So I say I have 13 years experience in travel. Over the last 13 years, I haven't seen things changes much with hotel, right? For example, how they distribute the room, how they interact with the customer. For the last 13 years, it haven't changed much, right? They still paying up to 40% of their revenue to acquire a new customer, right? But then once they acquire a new customer, they fail to do anything about it. They don't do customer service. They don't send out, thank you letter. They don't reach the customer again with, better offer for the next stay, for example. That lead to zero customer loyalty, and that's exactly why we're in this.
Because I realize like most of the time it seems like all the hotels are commoditized, because we're just gonna go to some big OTAs, just look up for like a nice location and then look at the price and then just book it, because we saw like Agoda or we saw Traveloka as well. So they all just like gathering the same supply, but then they just try to be extremely strong at pushing it to the consumers, and then whoever gets the highest amount of traffic with the best consumer experience will actually win. So,
Right. The technology we provide is specialized and customized for the medium hotel, right? So we look at a small independent hotel and small local chains, right? The problem, like just like we say, if you are a hotel owner, you spend, let's say, 30% of your commission on the OTA, right? Let the OTA, get you a booking. But then when that exact customer want to book again, they will also book on the OTA, not directly with you, right? Which means you're gonna spend another 30% on your next revenue.
That's why, and this is where you solve this problem on the repeat sale. Got it. So if I had to jump on the value proposition, if I understand well, because this is on the slide as well. So you leverage the hotel database by re-engaging those customers that came in and through mobile, I guess through the chatbot. And then I guess you charge those hotels on performance base. It's only like they pay when they get results, or can you elaborate a little bit more on your business model?
Right. I'm gonna talk about the second point later, but for the first part, yes, we leverage on the hotel database. Excuse me. Because if you look at it, let's say you have 100 room, right? And your occupancy, let's say 50% of your room are empty. So it's only 50% of the room are filled. In a year, if you do the calculation, if you do the math, you're gonna have almost 20,000 customers, right? The question we ask most of our hotel owner client is have you done anything with those 20,000 customers ever, right? The answer is often no, right? So it's a gold mine and nobody actually doing anything about it. One thing we learned in doing hotel marketing and all that is that in order to acquire a new customer, just say if you do Google ad, for example, it's going to cost you at least $5 per click, right? But if you do that to the customer who already interact with you, it's cost at least 10 times cheaper, right? So that's a value proposition. We help you to monetize on your existing customer at a lower cost, normally 50% lower the cost, right? Mm-hmm. For how we charge them, there are two types of software and technology that serving particularly the hotel. First of all, the management tool, and second of all, the revenue generation tool, right? So we are a revenue generation tool. We don't charge you anything unless we generate some revenue for you. So the chatbot is free, right? On those feature, right? Managing your customer, being able to send out messages and pull out your hotel information and then get direct payment on those are free until you make a booking. That's it. We have better package for bigger hotel, right? But then it's very small. It's also to cover the cost and all that. So.
All right. And in terms of pricing, I understand like you charge around like 10% commission on each booking. Is that right?
Yes, we charge about 10 to 15% on each booking, depend on what the hotel like us to do. Some of the hotel need us to do a little bit more than just retargeting their end user, right? They like to do more stuff like customer engagement and all that along the journey, making sure that those customers are happy, collect the feedback. Then we charge a little bit more, but often 10%.
Okay, cool. So in terms of like, we're just going to spend a bit more time on the pricing and all that. Like on average, like all those OTAs would charge around like 30% or so, and then you're actually like up to 3 times cheaper. So is actually like the main reason why the hotels would work with you, or is that other reasons like aside the fact that you focus on repeat sales? And right. Do you have friction when you try to pitch to those hotels?
Right, so pricing is one of the thing, right? The second thing is the trend. So if you look at the macro trend, 20 years ago when the OTA started, there was no hotel website, right? That's why the OTA exists, right? No hotel was able to get a booking on their website, but now they all do. But then what next for the next, let's say the next 10 years, for example? Now, every hotel being able to have a Facebook page, interact directly with the customer at 0 cost, right? Every hotel with a phone number can do a line official account or even a WeChat official account or a WhatsApp business account, right? They have all the technology they want in order to reach the customer, right? But then not all of the hotel are super technology know-how knowledge, right? They don't have that kind of thing. So and also normally the hotel marketing executive are also not specialized in social media marketing, right? So those are the two requirements that needed in order to win in the new digital world. And then we provide the tool for them to do that, make it easier for them, right? So, for example, most of the hotel will not be able to tell that chat had 4 times higher the open rate compared to email, or 12 times higher the click-through rate compared to email, for example. Those are what we know, right? And those are what we can consult and provide integrated in our product to help them convert their customer better.
I see. Because like I can see like a big point like when I discuss with you, because at WisePass we're also using like some chatbot. We saw that the open rate for emails, but when you're doing great, like it could be up to like 25%, 25%.
At best.
And when we use the chatbot, like when you send that, we broadcast messages, that's going to get all the way like up to 90, 95%.
Right.
Because people like just tap on that. So we can see like there's a consumer shift on mobile, on messaging platforms, like so the Messenger app, or could be Line, it could be Messenger, it could be WhatsApp, it doesn't matter. But the point is actually people have smartphones, and the consumer behavior now is really about chat. And it's easier, it's cheaper, and conversion seems to be higher, at least for the open rate. And then it's really comes down to the content that you put up for people just to click on, right? If you
Right.
have really good content, then you can really engage those people.
Right. So that's the point of Innaway, right? So we provide the technology and the solution. All you had to do is take care of what you do best, right? Those content, taking care of the hotel service, your pricing on that, and then you don't have to worry about technology anymore.
Can you share with us a little bit more about like what really drives conversions, like when those hotels are using your product?
Are you talking about hotel conversion or end user conversion?
End user conversion.
Right. So in order for a customer to book a room, right, or buying other services, so as we look at it, the quality of your service is one of those, right? It's normally the number one. If your service is really good, people will come back, right? If your really good is terrible, there's no way that they're gonna come back, no matter how much discount you offer them, right? So first of all, take care of your own services, right? Making sure your quality is good, that you take care of your customer in the offline world first, right? And then for the online world, which is the technology we provide, you can customize on different things in order to convert them better, which is the pricing, right? Which is the content with the photo, your room, for example, the photo of your facility, for example, or it can be something as simple as a complimentary benefit like breakfast, right? It can be something as simple as a free water bottle in room or free Wi-Fi. Those very simple things speak a lot.
So that's interesting, because like if you start just to have more and more users on the platform, you can start just to dig into data and see like what really converts over time, and just automate that process for the hotels. So that's really creating a differentiation point from potential competitors. And that's actually what I want to jump in. Like, do you have any competitors in your market, like in Vietnam or maybe outside of Vietnam, that does the same kind of thing?
Right. So there are competitors outside Vietnam. So we have direct competitor and we have indirect competitor, right? So we have a few company. One of those are bought by TravelClick, roughly for $1 billion something dollar. I think last year, I think $1.5 billion. Focusing on messaging customer service for the hotel particularly. And then there's a few more coming up, like Trust You and a few more, right? But none of those in South Asia specifically. But indirect competitor, we do have a few, right? So along this journey, we learned that there are Novaon, there are Haravan that trying to approach our hotel client, right? And the hotel say no. And the reason is very simple, because we're the only chatbot in for hotel in South Asia that being able to connect with their inventory and being able to collect payment. None of those chatbots provide that solution right now.
I see. So about that, like, so you can get inventory. So I guess there's an extranet where the hotels will put all the information, which is one thing.
Right.
The payment gateway is another thing, where you collect the payment and then you can pass back the money.
Right.
And can you share with us, let's say I I went to a hotel of in your platform, and then like the chatbot will re-engage me somewhat. Can you share with us like how many steps does it require just to make a booking? Can you explain the steps?
Right. So our chatbot was created to convert booking at first, right? So our number one target now is to have hotel convert booking. We don't really care about customer service that much yet, right? We do, but not right now. So stuff like, if you wanna get a restaurant menu, we're not exactly serving you very well at the moment, because it's all to convert a customer to do the room booking, right? So the very first step when you go on the chatbot, it will try to identify whether you want to book a room or not, right? If you're not interested in booking a room, if you ask random question about other thing rather than a room, right, we will not be as your best service. But if you are interested in booking a room, right, it take about 6 steps, right? The first one is you click on finding a room, and then you input your day, your number of people, for example. Those are 2 steps, right? And then you see a list of room available for that specific day, right, in real time. And then you click on the room that you like, right, to see more information if you're interested in it. And then you click book, and then you pay. That's about 6 steps.
So the steps is actually I have to go on the Facebook page of the hotel.
Right. If you don't count that, yes, that's 7.
Okay. So you get on this Facebook page, you click on the chat, and then this is like the remaining 6 steps where you just like book the date, and then you book the room, and then you process the payment, and then payment is like, I guess, a credit card, Visa, MasterCard, or American Express.
Yes, and then local ATM card if you don't have a Visa or MasterCard, and then we're gonna add on more payment gateway option, right? So we're trying to work with VNPay right now. So if you don't have a card, you can just scan the QR code with your internet banking app.
Okay, cool. So that's 6, 7 steps. Like, are you guys able just to in the future just to reduce those steps from like 7 to less? Or
yes, we're looking at that option. We wanted to do that. We just don't have enough data at the moment. The reason is being able to identify your intent, your intention in making a booking is the first step, right? That normally the most important step, because people, especially in Vietnam, right, people chat in very natural language. You still hearing me? The screen blank out a little bit, so I don't see anything right now. But if you hear me,
I can hear you perfectly. Can you hear me?
So I just gonna keep going there. So in order to identify customer intention with natural chat language in Vietnamese, is really hard, right? Especially some of the customer we just chat in abbreviation, right? In teen code, for example, and it's really hard to identify what they want. That's why when we collect enough data to being able to understand the intention in natural chat, we will be able to reduce the step into roughly 3 or 4 steps only.
Yeah. So this is where I see like technology can help, because like as long as we can make it like faster, simpler, or cheaper for our customers or the stakeholders we're gonna work with, then this is when we actually have a big win. So this is
right. If you look at before, when our solutions arrive, right, most of the hotel will have an agent that sit in there and answer the question, right? And then when the customer go in and ask, they don't just go on and ask the question continuously. They will ask a question, they go somewhere, they come back and ask another question, and then the agent will have to jump on to another platform to check if there's room available or not, and get back with the price, right? And then if the customer agree with that, then they have to send the bank account detail, and then the customer will have to go, doing the bank transfer, and then the agent will have to go to the accountant and ask if the bank transfer has arrived, right? And on those things, it's probably take you a few hours to convert one booking, right? But right now, with the technology we provide, it's probably going to take you 5 minutes less.
Cool. Okay. So I'd like to move on just to your traction.
Sure.
So I understood like you guys have generated more than 2,000 room nights since 2018. Is that correct?
Yes, late 2018.
Great. So what actually prevents you from now just to get from 2,000 to let's say 20,000 room nights, like let's say in a month? Like what's going to be the main factor dimensions? Like is it about like just getting more hotels and that's it? Or is it going to be more about like just getting more tech people? Like what's going to be like a 2-3 things that's going to get you to another 10x?
Right. That's a very good question.
Just before,
Regarding. Sorry, go on.
can you actually turn off your camera and then turn on the camera again just to check out, because like you've been freezing for.
My
Sure. And here we go. And
sorry for that. Not sure what happened.
You can see me. Everything's good.
Yes. So yes, this is a good question. So regarding technology, we are doing really good with our tech team, right? So my co-founder from Google, he's doing a really good job in shipping feature and on that. We're doing product release at least, well, sometimes twice a day, right? With feedbacks, and we're doing all that. So there's no problem with technology. The problem right now would be the market, right? The biggest barrier I'm seeing right now is because COVID-19, right? The market has been heavily affected, right? Over 90% of the hotel was shut down, right? Well, actually 100% of the hotel in Vietnam particularly was shut down during the COVID lockdown, right? So regarding that, because of that, right, for almost 2.5 months, none of the hotel generate any revenue, right? So, and in the industry, cash flow is a very critical thing. Not all of those going to be able to open back up again anytime soon. So acquiring a hotel now is hard. We are acquiring a hotel, but we're seeing that people are not really traveling. There's non-international travel right now, so the only market is domestic travel, right? Which also mean the market shrink, right? It's not like what it used to be. So that is our number one problem right now.
I see. Can you share with us, like, because like since there's not going to be any international flights coming to Vietnam any day or anytime soon, like what is your prediction, and what do you think what's going to happen within the next at least for 2020, right? Like how COVID-19 will affect the hotels? Because if I understand well, some hotels are opening up, but then some are doing better than others. So who's going to be the winners? Who's going to be the losers of this situation?
Right. So what we've seen, the trend we're seeing is domestic travel for the next 6 months at least, right? And as domestic travel, Vietnamese will be mostly working during the week, right? So they travel in the weekend. So hotel that are in tourist destination outside of the city, with swimming pool and all that will be a big win, right? Some of the hotel we work with actually fully book every weekend right now, right? But during the week, they don't have a lot of booking. Some of them actually shut down during the week and only open up in the weekend. So that is one trend: domestic travel for the next 6 months. One prediction I've been thinking about a lot is that the country that has been able to contain COVID will be opening up for each other first, right? So Vietnam will be most likely opening up for Taiwan, New Zealand, and maybe Korea first, right? Before it's opening the door to America, for example, right? So that's one of the reasons we integrate with Line, right? So we look at Thailand, we look at Taiwan, we look at Japan or Korea, and those countries we're probably going to be the first country that travel to Vietnam right after the crisis. So we're just trying to get things ready for the hotel and prepare them when the market is getting back.
Okay. So if I understand well, like COVID-19 is affecting drastically the bookings for sure, and then also like maybe some hotels will have to shut down. But then in a way, if you guys are able just to get through this and get a lot of hotels using your chatbot, then that is dramatically increasing the amount of bookings, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that's actually the focus. I'm focused also like in this case, like I'd like to get to the market. So that how big is this market in Vietnam? Because like I think there's like 8,000 properties roughly, and then with an average 100 rooms price of $25. That's quite like it's kind of like $1 billion market.
Well, some predictions say it's going to be a $2 billion market by 2023, around then. But then our market is actually APAC, right, as a whole. When you look at APAC as a whole, before COVID-19, the prediction was it's going to have 185 rated hotel, right? A million lodging unit. Most of those going to be apartment. It's going to be a vacation rental, but 185,000 rated hotel from 1 to all the way to 6 star, for example, right? And then in that market, the one we can obtain is about 50,000 property. Right?
Okay.
We minus China out a bit, so 50,000 property in APAC is the market.
Well, actually, when I was preparing the slides, I was wondering about like you guys told me like you focus on 3-star, 4-star hotels, but what prevents you? Why do you do 3-star, 4-star? Why not 5-star? Why not 1-star, 2-star? What's logic?
Right. It's a really good question. So let's say 5-star. There's a very small number of 5-star hotel, and most of them are being run by a chain, right? A 5-star hotel chains like Marriott or like Intercontinental, for example. Those hotel chains had the money and the technology, right? So they've been able to develop a technology like some of them have a loyalty app, some of them has been able to use chatbot to serve the customer better in order to protect the ecosystem that they're in, right? But then 3 and 4-star hotel didn't have that because first of all, they don't have the money to invest in tech. They don't have the technology know-how to invest in tech, right? That led to the problem that they're always behind in the game, right? So the purpose of Innaway is to bring the same technology the 5-star hotel chains already have to 3 and 4-star hotel. Why we're not doing 1 and 2 is because most of them are family owned. They don't really care, right? They get 1 or 2 booking a day. They're happy with that, right? So they're not really trying to be better, right? And we really like the hotel that trying to be better every day. That's it. Now back to Vietnam market a little bit. So we were saying we target APAC, right? But an interesting thing is Vietnam has the #1 local hotel chains in the world, the largest number of local hotel chains in the world, right? And the Vietnamese market in South Asia alone is the #1 market for hotel.
So I was wondering, like, when you talk to the hotels, like the 3 stars, 4-star hotels, like, do you have to talk to the marketing team, the sales team, or the GM actually, or the 3 of them, or like, how does it work?
Sometimes we have to talk to the 3 of them, right? Sometimes when we first come out, for example, it took about 47 days to convince the first hotel to be on board, right? 47 days is a very long time. They were skeptical. They were skeptical with the technology. That's the industry. That's the industry thing, right? We are normally behind other industry because we used to the old way of doing things. I'm not blaming anyone, but that tend to be the mindset that not inventing the wheel, whatever work, let it work, right? But then until things like COVID happen, you will realize that you need to reach your customer. You cannot rely on a third party anymore, right? So before that, it was, let's say, 47 days to acquire our first hotel, but then we optimize it. We connect with the sales manager directly, for example, or we work with the GM and ask the GM to send us to the sales manager. We optimize the process every step. By the way, we increase our value proposition. We make it more compelling, right? We are very compelling value proposition, but then we also be willing to work with the hotel by providing things for free, right? There's no previously we were charging, but now we're free because we want to work with the hotel, right? So back in the day, it's hard because we were charging, but now as it's free, they're willing to try it out. And the sales cycle was cut down to roughly 16-day max. Previously, I think for the last month, it's been cutting down to 1 week. So it takes 1 week to acquire a hotel now.
I see the same trend, like for the merchants, but also like even for consumers. Like at WisePass, what we are implementing next quarter is actually free trial. So that people would just download the app, sign up with an email, that's it. And then they put a credit card and then they just click start my free trial. And it's actually like pretty common standard practices, because like in terms of like conversion rate after that, and the amount of people like using your app is actually increasing, but really quickly, because like you remove the barrier, the friction, just to make people pay, and after they hook in with the service, whatever that is, usually like you manage just to convince more people, not everyone, but actually like you get like a higher amount of people that will stick with you and then start to pay, because like they tried your service and then they see the results and they can see and understand the benefits. So this, I guess, like is a good point. Like if you turn like the first steps just to make it free, it's really likely just to increase the amount of hotels working with you. We're gonna now move to the conclusion of our talk today, where I have like a couple more questions for you. So I was wondering, like, what else can you do just to make your product better today? Like, is it like about tech, and with the data that you will collect from those hotels, like, is there anything else you can do to improve the value proposition of Innaway with your chatbot?
Right. It's a really good question, right? I think I've been spending every day in my last 2 years thinking about that every single day, right? So the first thing we're doing is just to add more channel, add more messaging channel. Reason why is because it's allow the hotel to reach out to the customer in different country, in different messaging app, right where they are, right? So they don't have to do anything, just reach them, right? So that's the number one thing we're doing, adding more messaging channel. The second thing we're doing is to provide more insight. So we have hotels that build in their own app, for example. And for those hotels, as people in the industry, we in the technology world, we know is how much it costs to build your own app, right? And then you have to worry about user acquisition and all that. One of the value we're trying to provide is basically just to consult the hotel on what they should do and what they should not do. For example, with the app I just mentioned, the mobile app they built, their inventory was not real time, right? Their pricing was not real time, right? Their payment gateways wasn't working, right? So we was telling them that they are able to use the data, the API connection from our extranet, just plug it in to the app, and then everything gonna be real time, right? We're not even charging for that, right? It's free. So consulting on what they should do and what they should not do, or what they should do in order to save costs and increase revenue is the second thing we're doing. The third thing we're doing is being able to look at the data, right? We're still collecting data right now. I think we're in a very early phase of data analysis, for example. We haven't had enough data to be able to tell you, this is exactly what you should do to increase your conversion, but that's the next step. The reason being, when we look at the data at the moment, we see certain trend, right? For example, ladies are the one who make the decision really fast when it comes to a booking, right? They just look at the price, they take out the card, they pay for it, right? But the men tend to have more rational behind, right? He's gonna go and check out other things. They come back an hour later, for example, and check out some other thing as well. And then it may take him another few hours to actually pay for the room, for example. And then we also look at the what we call a booking window, right? The time of booking to the time of stay, right? How long is it? And then we look at their search result, for example. Like you're looking for a room for 8 people, or you're looking for a room for 2 people, right? What kind of booking will be more likely to convert faster, for example? So we're looking at all those things and trying to analyze and see, how we can help the hotel to monetize better. Of course, we start using AI and on that, but it's for the later phase of the business. It's going to take another years at least for us to be able to really see that here's how the data is working, and this is exactly the step the hotel can take in order to get better conversion.
I see. Usually I see, like, whenever you're a tech company, if your ability to build up new features, make it more useful for the end users, or for the hotels in your case. As long as you actually invest more of your time and your resources into this, and then there's actually a higher differentiation. And therefore, like, you're going to be able just to create more value for the end users, for the different stakeholders in your business, basically. And then they will be able just to move forward, and then actually say yes more and more, and then you'll just get more and more hotels and more end users booking eventually, right? So okay, so this is we're in the middle of 2020, and COVID-19 is kind of over for Vietnam, even though the borders are not open. So what are you guys gonna do for the remaining 6 months? So you know what you have to focus on, but did you actually set a priority on one thing that's going to be the most important for you as a founder?
Right. So let's say 6 months to the end of the year, right? Our focus is to continue shipping feature, right? We're reaching product maturity phase where, let's say last year, for example, when we first started, the product wasn't that good, right? But at the moment, we're shipping feature every single day, right? Our tech team is doing a great job on that. We have a roadmap for everything, right? And then improving on the product, making sure the hotel can be able to use this easier than before, and and use that to convert. So that is the number one feature, number one priority, because we want the hotel to survive this year, right? Most of them will not be able to, but we want to have whoever we can to stay survive this year and continue to expand next year. So you will see the market consolidate, right? Those hotels that not being able to survive will be bought by the hotel that are surviving, right? And then those that surviving, we're probably going to be one of the best direct strategy they can work with.
Okay. Well, Christian, it's been our lovely talk is over now. It's almost 45 minutes. I'd like to thank you very much for joining this first talk today. And my last question as a founder, like, who would you recommend just to join this talk, in this founder's talk?
Who?
Yeah. Do you have anyone else in mind?
I think I mentioned this before. Just talk to Zoom from Nano, the former CEO of Uber. So right across the office from us. He's a nice guy. We've been chatting a lot about what we can do. So he's been happy, So he has experience and he knows the market. So talk to you soon.
Cool. Thanks very much for the suggestion. Well, this is the end of our talk. Thank you very much, Christian, for joining this event, and well, good luck for the remaining 6 months of the year.
All the best to you too. Yeah, if you have any idea on any hotel that needs support with or help, let us know. We're here to help.
All right. Thanks.
Ciao.
See you guys. The streaming has stopped, so we are good. And now I'm going to stop the recording.
All right.